Everybody click on got it? Perfect. Okay, well, good afternoon, everybody. This is our last Tech Tuesday. Yay! No, I'm just kidding. It is our last Tech Tuesday because the Glen Eagles Computers Plus is going to be holding in-person computer support classes for everybody, and they're going to be at your beck and call. So this was a lot of fun, keeping you guys entertained during the summer, answering your questions. So this is going to be our last one, and it's really a super important one. I remember working with one of the members, helping her with her Apple Watch, and then everybody saw us talking about the Apple Watch, and more people were not sure of whether or not the Apple Watch they had the fall detection, if they could check their heart rate, things like that. And a lot of people at Glen Eagles, the the parents, your kids are actually giving you Apple Watches, and you don't know what to do with them, or you don't know how to set them up. Now, I'm going to do a polling question now, and so I want you to answer this polling question. So I'm going to launch it. Take your time in answering it. So the question is, what Apple Watch are you currently using? Now, if you can't see everything on your iPad, scroll down, and there's actually on the bottom that says, I do not own an Apple Watch. Okay? So I want to know how we're doing today, who we have. So I'm going to wait for everybody to do this. So please go ahead. Again, if you don't have a watch, just scroll up to the bottom, and you'll see I do not own an Apple Watch. And I really don't have any idea to see who hasn't answered.
If we're 6 or 7, or how do we find that?
Pardon?
How do we
Right,
find
I'm sorry?
or 7? It asks the question.
Right.
How do
Do
you
you know
find
which watch you're using?
No.
No? Oh, well, I'm not going to go over how to figure that out. Well, about how long ago did you get it, or what does it look like, or does it have the fall detection on it?
Yes.
Okay, so we know that's going to be a 3, probably a 3 or higher.
It's a
So how
year.
long have you? Pardon?
About a year. About a year.
So okay, I'm going to go ahead. I would click on the 6. It's more than likely what you have. So why don't you just go ahead and click on the 6?
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So we have one more person. I don't know if that's me. I can't answer it. Oh, wait a minute. I think that's me on my other. Okay. We're ending the poll. All right. And I'm going to share the results. All right. So actually, one person here just got the Apple Watch 7. That's awesome. 6, we have the Series 6, 5, 4, and 3. Okay. All right. It's good to know. I just want to make sure I know what we're. All right. So we have a majority of you are using the 6. Okay. So now I'm going to ask you one more question. Okay. And here is the question for you. Upgrading your Apple Watch. Are you looking to upgrade your Apple Watch? Yes or no? Or I'm looking to buy my first one. Okay. Oh, wow. Ooh, this is weird as you see this, right? We have half of people are looking to buy their first one. And the ones that do have Apple Watches, I believe, are very happy with the ones that they have, if I stand corrected. Okay, so here are the results. Okay. So thank you very much for answering those questions for us. Now, I'm just going to do by a share of hands because I don't know exactly who answered what. So share of hands, who are the people? Raise your hands if you have if you already have the Apple Watch, raise your hand just so we can see the people that are on the screen. Okay, okay, just so we can mark it. Barbara Rodman. Okay, and then those hands down, and then those that do not have an Apple Watch, raise your hand. Okay, all right. So we have, so wait a minute, let's see. We have one, two, I don't see 10 hands. I don't see 10 hands up that are looking to buy one. All righty. So thank you so much. I, I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and share the screen for you. Okay. So I am going to be honest with you right now. I've always been honest with everybody. I personally do not own an Apple Watch. Okay. Um, I have used them before. I have tried them out before, but when I first I tried out the three, and I wasn't very impressed with all the stuff that it could do. I didn't feel I could need it. Now, in this position that I have, I am definitely going to be buying an Apple Watch. And I'm excited because I get to disconnect from my iPhone. So when you see me around the club, I don't have to carry my phone with me anymore, checking my emails or responding to people. It's all going to be able to be done by my watch. So I don't have it, but that's why we have a special guest today. We have Toby Wittes. She is um, from our Glen Eagles Computer Plus, and she's going to be talking later on, or actually, and she'll be talking throughout if you guys have any questions that I'm unable to answer. So the first thing what I want to go ahead and is just go through, show you guys the objectives. We're going to just compare Apple Watches, go over a few differences first. We're going to show some YouTube videos with based on the built-in features that are perfect for seniors. And I'm not, I'm sorry I say seniors, but this is the main thing why a lot of you are coming on is to see what the features are, the fall detection, the O2 sensors, the ECG. There's some helpful tips that you should know. Then Mrs. Wittes is going to talk about the Glen Eagles Computer Plus, and she is an iPhone, iWatch. She is amazing in all the knowledge that she has. And she's going to go over and talk about the reasoning for her having the Apple Watches and changing it and things that you can do with cellular and not cellular. So she's really going to go ahead and answer a lot of our questions. I have we'll have a little video, I think, on the Apple Watch Series 7 versus the Apple Watch Series 6. Just for those that maybe are that the ones that are looking to buy an Apple Watch. Um, it makes a lot of sense for all of us. And I think Mrs. Wittes will go ahead and confirm we're not selling these things for you, but we definitely feel that you should at least start with the six. And that's what we're going to show you. We'll show you enough that it's not worth, I mean, depending on how you need it, I think it's worthy for all of us to start out with at least the six. And then what you'll have in your packet that I will email you is there's a whole bunch of YouTube videos that are going to enhance your Apple Watch experience. Okay, so I usually go around the horn and we will go about one thing you're hoping to learn today, but I'm going to go ahead and go into the presentation and then we will have plenty of time to talk about things that if we didn't cover it. So the Apple Watches. Now there, as you saw on our polling question, I mean, you have a generation one, two, three, it just keeps on going up and up and up. And it's only been, like 2015 to 2021. It has not been a lot of years that the Apple Watch has been in service. So the main differences that you're seeing now is that there's a full keyboard, big. Each one that comes up, they usually have a bigger visible display, a stronger, more durable screen. Now, the ECG app, if everybody sees that on the Apple Watch Series 4. So now the ECG, that's one of the features, health and safety features. It is only on the Apple Watch Series 4 and later. Okay, it's not on the Apple Watch SE. Okay, and it comes, so again, there's a lot of compatibilities depending on what you like. The ECG is not intended for use by people under 22 years old. And with the ECG app, Apple Watch is capable of generating an ECG similar to a single lead electrocardiogram. Cardiogram. So also, I want to note in red, the Apple Watch 3 does not have all the above. It has no fall detection. I have to ask Mrs. Wittes about that. The wireless charging or cellular option. It's a slightly smaller in screen sizes, less sophisticated, and has fewer supported apps. When we're talking about the 6 and the 7, who's the person that has the 7? The Apple Watch 7. One person raised their hand. I guess we don't know who has the Apple Watch 7. The Apple Watch 7, and so let's go ahead in this. The water resistance rating. So when you think it's water resistance, again, it's used for shallow water activities like swimming in a pool or ocean, but you're not going to use it for scuba diving, water skiing, and other activities. And we'll go over the little button that actually, after you go swimming, you can clear out the water from your watch. So these, if you look at the next red, the Apple Watch Series 7s require an iPhone 6S or later. So now hopefully everybody knows what iPhone you have. Okay, so again, this will help you decide if I have an iPhone 7S, so I should be able to get the Series 7. So again, if you have an older phone, you might not be able, the watch might not be compatible. Okay, so that's also very important when you're looking to have an Apple Watch. Now, in order to have an Apple Watch, you do need to have an iPhone. That usually goes hand in hand. So let's go over some of the built-in features that we know what everybody is looking for. You know, we're going to talk about setting up the heart notifications, taking an ECG, the blood oxygen sensor, fall detection and emergency SOS, health and fitness features, how to track your sleep and track your workouts. So we have to set up the ECG and heart notifications. I believe, so you'll see that the notification requires the latest version of the Watch OS and iOS, and it's not intended for use by people under 22 years old or those who have been previously diagnosed with atrial fibrillation. So now this is I just want to make sure this is the one I want to do. Yes, we are going to watch this. Now, how many people, I'll just take a share of hands, how many understand and have used to set up the ECG and heart notifications on your phone? How many of you? Okay, those that have an iWatch, this is something that we want to learn right now, correct? And see? I don't see any hands. Okay, so all right, now the gentleman here, there's thousands of videos. This gentleman here actually does a great job. But again, if you miss some things that he talks about, again, I'm going to send you all this information to you. So let me just go ahead and share my screen, and we are going to start this. So.
Every once in a while, my heart can feel a little off, and even when it doesn't, I like to feel good about my heart health.
Hey everyone, the long-awaited electrocardiogram app, or ECG app, is finally available for the Apple Watch Series 4. We're taking a look right now how to set it up and how to use it. The first thing you'll want to do is check if your Apple Watch is up to date. You might get a prompt for that first on the watch. If not, you can always go to the Watch app, head over to General, and tap Software Update. You need to be on watchOS 5.1.2 to be able to access the ECG app. Once you're up to date, just go to the Heart app, and you'll see that you can set up ECG app in the Health app, or set up irregular rhythm notifications in the Health app as well. So when you tap on that, now it'll get you the Health app, and it'll say you can take the ECG on the Apple Watch. The ECG app records your heartbeat using the digital crown of your Apple Watch, which is this rotating crown button right here. Basically, it's checking your heartbeat for atrial fibrillation, which is a form of irregular rhythm. So the first thing you need to do is set up the ECG app. You'll need to add your date of birth. So I'm going to go ahead and just add mine. And there's a brief rundown of how it works. Basically, it says that the ECG records an electrocardiogram, which represents the electrical pulses that make your heart beat. The app checks these pulses to get your heart rate and see if the upper and lower chambers of your heart are in rhythm. If they're out of rhythm, that's atrial fibrillation. So then it gives you a breakdown of some results you may see. For example, there's sinus rhythm, and there's little explanations that you can click on to learn more. Atrial fibrillation, lower high heart rates, and then there's inconclusive results. But we really want to highlight this little note here. It says, these results are not a diagnosis. Do not change any medications or treatment without talking to your doctor. And that's something we have to stress. Again, these are not conclusive diagnoses by a physician. This is just an app giving you your ECG. You really need to consult your doctor if you want to show them something that the Apple Watch told you after using this feature. So there's another you should know. This ECG app can check your heart rhythm for AFib and show your heart rate. There are some things to remember. It cannot detect a heart attack, so don't solely rely on it to check for that. It cannot detect blood clots or stroke. It cannot detect other heart-related conditions. If you are not feeling well, you should always talk to a doctor. So then you need to take your first ECG, and you should see this note right here. To take an accurate ECG, your Apple Watch needs to be snug on the wrist you selected in settings. So it has to be snug, but also when you set up the Apple Watch for the first time, it lets you know whether you want to have your Apple Watch on your left or right wrist. So just make sure it's on the wrist that you configured that first time. So first you'll need to open the ECG app on the Apple Watch. You can do that by tapping the crown and looking for the ECG app, which is right here for us. Might be in a different location for you. Just look for the heartbeat button. And it says the same thing. It actually tells you what wrist you had configured earlier, so just make sure it's on that list right there. And you can tap OK, and rest your arms on the table, hold your finger on the digital crown. You can see it goes for 29 seconds. Try not to move your arms. And it tries to reiterate that it's not looking for heart attacks. So it's trying to make sure that you're not relying on this feature too much. And you should definitely always consult your doctor if there's something out of the ordinary. And there we go, it says 95 BPM average. This ECG does not show signs of atrial fibrillation. And for more, it says Apple Watch cannot check for signs of a heart attack, as again, another reiteration. And there's a nice little feature that lets you add symptoms so that you can send that all to your doctor in a report. You can press done, and that again lets you go ahead and check it as many times as you want. So now let's exit out of that, and you can see on the app it says setup complete. This ECG does not show signs of atrial fibrillation. It does give me the sinus rhythm. All of the ECGs you take are stored in the Health app of your iPhone, and in Health you can also make a PDF of your recordings for your doctor. And that's about it. So this is how you export that data to your physician. Basically go to the Health app, go to Health Data, tap on electrocardiogram, and you can see the all data or sinus rhythm, which is what we just got. When you tap on that, you'll see the sinus rhythm. You can tap on that again, and then it says export a PDF for your doctor. And after that, it's basically shown to you in PDF form. And this is, typically what doctors can see when they do an electrocardiogram in the hospital as well. And you can export that data right over using your email or whatever app you have. And that's about it. Now that you've set up the ECG app, you can also set up irregular heart rate notifications. Basically, you can go back to the Watch app, tap on heart, and you can see that the ECG has been set up, and now it says set up irregular rhythm notifications in health. This helps identify atrial fibrillation as well, and you can tap learn more to read more about how this works and why it's useful to track this data. So you can tap on setup, and basically this takes you back into the health app. You can tap on setup notifications, tap on continue, and you can add date of birth again. And if you have ever been diagnosed with atrial fibrillation by a doctor, I have not, so I'm going to go with no. Another description of how it works. 4 things you should know. Apple Watch cannot detect heart attacks. We've heard that before. Apple Watch is not constantly looking for AFib, so it's not always looking for all instances of AFib, and people with AFib may not get a notification. So again, it's important to know that this is just something to help you supplement your use cases of checking if you have AFib, but it is not by far the best or only way you should be using. If you're not feeling well, you should talk to your doctor, even if you don't get a notification. Symptoms such as rapid pounding or fluttering heartbeat, dizziness, or fainting can indicate a serious condition. And number 4, do not change your medication without talking to your doctor. Receiving a notification. It's just explaining how the Apple Watch sends you the notification. Essentially, it says that Apple Watch identified an irregular heart rhythm if you get a notification, and that may be AFib, and if it confirms it with multiple readings. But if you have not been diagnosed with AFib by a physician, you should discuss this notification with your doctor. And that's it. Once you've turned on that button, you'll get this screen, and it's basically some of those steps that you already saw. You can add it to your favorites and see the data here once it's recorded. And if you want to turn it off, you can go back to the Apple Watch app, tap on heart, and you'll see this little button here, irregular rhythm, and the button to turn off notifications. So that's an easy way you can turn it off. And there's nothing else you really need to do. It's something that the Apple Watch would just sort of detect over time. And again, definitely.
Hopefully everybody was able to hear that gentleman. Now, I know Mrs. Wittes, I know I want you to explain, or I guess I think this or the O2 was important to you. So did you want to say anything regarding the ECG and the heart notifications of what the gentleman just spoke about?
No, that was fine.
That was good? Okay. Yeah. Great. All right, we're going to move right along, everybody, to the next. The blood oxygen sensor. So we're not going to go over the doctor's take on the Apple's blood oxygen sensor, but I am going to play this as a brief 1 minute on how to set it up. Okay, and this is on the Watch Series 6, but again, some of these setups are exactly the same thing on the Apple Watches and lower. Actually, wait.
Blood oxygen. They
Right,
don't have
you can't.
oxygen, only 6 and 7.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes. This is only available on those that have the 6 and the 7. So again, this could come into play when you're just trying to figure out which one you want. So let's go ahead and I'm going to share this.
You can measure your blood oxygen levels with the Blood Oxygen app on Apple Watch Series 6. Here's how.
Everybody.
To set up the Blood Oxygen app, open the Apple Watch app on your iPhone with iOS 14 or later.
I would get lost with all my stuff.
Tap Blood Oxygen, then tap Enable.
Okay, hang on. Let me just rewind this.
You can measure your blood oxygen.
Okay. And now let's go ahead and do a new share. Okay, here we go.
Oxygen levels with the Blood Oxygen app on Apple Watch Series 6. Here's how. To set up the Blood Oxygen app, open the Apple Watch app on your iPhone with iOS 14 or later. Tap Blood Oxygen, then tap Enable. If you set up your Apple Watch with Family Setup, the Blood Oxygen app won't be available. Follow the on-screen steps to finish setup. To take a measurement, make sure your Apple Watch Series 6 is snug and on the wrist you selected in the Apple Watch app. Open the Blood Oxygen app on your Apple Watch. Keep your wrist flat with your Apple Watch facing up and stay still. Then tap Start. The measurement takes 15 seconds to complete, so it's best to rest your arms on a table or in your lap during this time. Once it's complete, you'll receive your results. Tap Done to finish. Know your blood oxygen levels. Need to reset your Apple Watch? You can either use your paired
Can't hear you.
Thank you. Mrs. Wittes, you had, you wanted to say something about the oxygen, correct?
No,
No?
no.
Has anybody used any of these so
It's so,
far?
it's so simple. I do it all the time.
Yes. Does anybody else here use it frequently to check? The Kavanaughs do? Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move on. Okay. So the next one I want to show you is the fall detection and emergency SOS. Oop. Oh, hang on.
This one I can talk about.
Okay, all righty, super. All right, so this is a 2-minute clip, everybody. And then I really wanted, and then I have a, how it's tested. And then, yes, Mrs. Wittes has plenty to say. So let's go ahead and open this up and make sure I can.
I go to sleep with it on, I wake up and I look well rested. I started incorporating skincare into
You need a production assistant to do all of this. Okay, let's try this.
my self-care routine because I noticed that I was getting
Beginner's Guide to the brand new Apple Watch Series 6. This
Hang on, I gotta make sure. Oh no, hang on. 2241. Let me just forward this to 2241.
and I encourage everybody watching this right now to set this up just to be safe. This is emergency SOS, and hopefully none of you watching ever need to use this, but this could save you from a dangerous situation. So I recommend everybody watching this right now to set up emergency SOS. You're gonna go into your Apple Watch app on your iPhone, click on emergency SOS, and as you can see here, you wanna make sure that you enable automatic dialing. You wanna turn this on. It might be off by default. You wanna turn this on, automatic dialing, in order to call emergency services if you press and hold the side button. And you also wanna turn on fall detection so that Apple Watch can automatically call emergency services if it detects that you fall. Now, again, it will give you a slight warning beforehand, so it'll say, or do you really want to do that? Like, you know, if you're conscious, right, you can say, hey, nope, this is a false alarm. But if you're unconscious, it will automatically call emergency services if you fall, and you have the ability to hold the side button. Now, the reason that I recommend everybody watching this turn that on is think about that. If you find yourself, hopefully you never do, but if you find yourself in a dangerous situation, all you have to do is press and hold on that side button to call emergency services. Or if you take a fall and you can't press and hold that side button, the Apple Watch will automatically detect that you fell and call emergency services on your behalf. So I really think it's better to be safe than sorry. That's why I recommend going here into your Apple Watch settings, going to Emergency SOS, and enabling both the automatic dialing by holding the side button and fall detection. Hopefully you never have to use this, but I encourage all of you to set this up just in case, just to be safe. It's Emergency SOS right here for your Apple Watch. Those are the first things you're gonna wanna do with your brand new.
Anyway, it was near the toaster, but I was going nuts looking for it.
Okay.
Okay, so
Let me mute this
Yeah.
person. Oops, sorry. Okay. All right. So now this is a video of exactly how you can see how this see the fall detection working.
You had to offer the same personalized experience, white glove treatment to
Don't
your
go to the
customer,
commercials.
whether he was walking into a store or your customers were looking at you online.
Don't worry, I'm good. This is just my professional stunt double, Evelyn Osario Vaquero. Evelyn, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I hit the ground for a living.
That's right. Really, she's a professional stunt double. She's appeared in things like Luke Cage, Orange is the New Black, and more. So why is she in this Apple Watch Series 4 review? Well, because the new Apple Watch doesn't only look sleeker, it has new health and fitness features, including one that detects falls. So here's the premise of this review. Evelyn and I were training for a fight. Okay, well, more Evelyn's training. And we're putting the new watch's fall detection and fitness features through the paces. Turns out fake falling is really hard. Seriously, please don't try this at home.
So get close to the ground, bend those knees, close to the ground, lift those arms. Use your body. There you go.
Yes, turns out that the Apple Watch really does know when you're just playing around. Nothing. That's because the improved gyroscope and accelerometer in the Series 4 monitor for wrist trajectory, speed, and more. Apple even showed this weird diagram during its keynote of the 3 different types of falls the watch can detect. And so here we are. I had Evelyn do a series of falls that followed some of the examples that Apple showed. The first fall we tried was during a fight with her training partner and competitive boxer, Michelle Herzl. Evelyn flung herself away and landed on her back. Okay, moment of truth. Fall detected. It looks like you've taken a hard fall. Do we want to contact emergency services? I fell, but I'm okay. What about a slip? Yep, fall detected. What about a trip? Fall detected. What about a trip into a tumble? Weird. No fall detected. If you remain immobile for about a minute after your fall, it begins a 15-second countdown and sounds an alarm. When the countdown ends, it automatically contacts emergency services and sends a message to your emergency contact. If you've entered your age during setup and you're 65 and over, fall detection is automatically on. Everyone else has to turn it on manually in the iPhone Watch app. Okay, time out. I realize these falls are fun to watch, even funny. But in real life, falling is no laughing matter. And from these tests, if you're prone to falling, the Apple Watch would be a good investment. And that's not just for older people.
Right. So there we go. Now, let me just get to my, let's see. Okay, so now, Mrs. Wittes, we can go through. I'm sure this is there's probably a lot of questions about this fall detection. So, Mrs. Wittes, the floor is open for you on this.
Okay, you can leave this on the screen?
Or I can stop it so they can see your face, whatever you like.
Oh, because okay.
I'll
Whatever
take it
you,
down.
whatever you want. I was at Publix parking lot, getting out of my car, and you know how the parking is like angled? Each car is a little bit different than the car next to them. So I was taking something out of the car and I backed up and I tripped on that stanchion and I landed on my face. Fortunately, my face did not hit concrete, it hit the macadam. But immediately, my watch said, did you fall? And I could feel the pulsing, you know, the haptic touch. And I said, no. Are you sure? Yes. And the 911 was right there. At that moment, somebody came out of an office. They saw me in the storefront. So she came out and helped me up. And I kept saying, I was fine, you know, leave me alone, I'm okay. But I really wasn't perfect. So I happened to have an appointment with a doctor at the University of Miami the next day. And I was supposed to be driving to my daughter's that night to sleep over and go with her to the doctor. And so I guess I was so upset, I forgot to bring my charger for the phone. So I went to sleep and I said, oh my God, I forgot I have to turn my watch off because it's going to run out of juice. And so in the dark, I was trying to turn it off. And all of a sudden I hear, the Miami police was calling me. Are you all right? And I said, oh my God. I said, I was turning it off in the dark and I hit the wrong button. Oh, you know, she said, don't worry about it. Anytime, you know, we're here for you if you have a problem. But it was 2 days in a row I had experience with that. So I thought that was worth telling you. It really does work.
Has anybody here has this happened? Has anybody fallen and has this fall detection saved your life? But no, well, that's good. I'm glad that we haven't had to use this. Before our meeting, I spoke with Craig Spina, and he actually said one of his best buddies was out mountain biking, and he crashed on his mountain bike, and he lost consciousness in the middle of, I think, Jonathan Dickinson Park. And the gentleman woke up, the ambulance was there and found him in the middle of the park. And thanks to his watch and the fall detection, his life was saved. So it is amazing. I think I forgot we had a tennis player of Glen Eagles. I think she fell and the fall detection went off. So it is something that a lot of our members are using, you know, have these days. So Mr. Jacobs, did you have a question or anything? Are you good?
Twice it happened to me.
Twice it happened to you?
Yeah, one time, this is interesting, I was at the fitness center and I got a phone call and I told my daughter, hold on. I went out and I talked to her for 15 minutes in the sun. I stood up, walked to the door and passed out in the arms of a lady that was opening the door for me. And I did get this notice, but they took me by ambulance anyway, but it did happen.
Oh, wow. Wow. So we are going to show another video of how the emergency SOS on an earlier phone I think it's on the Apple Watch 3. But let's go ahead and continue this because I know we're going to have a ton of questions soon. So let's go back. Okay, so next, here you go. Using the Apple Watch 3 to make emergency 911 SOS calls. So if I'm not mistaken, I think I just click on here.
I've got a brand new iPhone in a mouse case and I'm about to drop it onto some rocks while kite surfing. Woo!
Whilst nothing makes your tech indestructible, that won't.
Hi guys, wanted to do a quick video for you to kind of demonstrate the techniques for using your Apple Watch 3 to call 911 in case of an emergency. So the first technique that I mentioned in the article, well, actually both techniques, but the first technique uses this side oval-shaped button here on the side of the Apple Watch, not the round digital crown, not this piece that rotates, the round digital crown, this oval-shaped, let's see if I can tip it this way so we can see better, that oval-shaped button that's flush alongside of the Apple Watch. So the first method for calling 911, we press this button and we hold it until this screen pops up. When this screen pops up, if you wanted to dial 911, you would swipe from left to right across this bottom segment of the screen where it says Emergency SOS. I'll kind of demonstrate that using the medical ID one because I don't want to actually call 911 right now, but you can see that it requires a swipe motion. It's not a tap motion. So you would hold this button down, you would swipe across the bottom, and that would call 911 for you. Now, my Apple Watch sometimes is a little bit finicky when I'm swiping, so this method maybe wouldn't be my first choice, but it's obviously an option that's there. So the second method that I like, although it takes probably a few seconds longer, but you can do it without looking, is once again we go to this flush oval button alongside of the Apple Watch, and we press and we hold, and you can see across the bottom of the screen there starts to be a 5-second countdown there. And if I were to press and hold that button all the way through that 5-second countdown, that would automatically call 911 for me, and it would also notify my emergency contacts about my location and that I had sent an emergency signal out to them. So I wanted to kind of go over that. I do want to reiterate too that once again, this is something that only works with the Apple Watch 3. If you have an older version of the Apple Watch, this feature isn't going to work for you. You have to have the Apple Watch 3. You also have to know which version of the Apple Watch 3 you have.
Okay. It is, obviously we know it's Apple Watch 3 and up. Okay. All right. The next, let's see, our next one is...
Friends would walk up to me and just be like, "What the f is in your mug?" And I would just tell them, "It's mud."
Okay. Okay. The health and fitness, I'm just going to play. This is, I don't know if anybody has used Apple Support, but these videos are going to be your best resource. And again, when I send this to you, we're going to show it in the, you'll have all the links to everything like this. So let me see how we're doing on time. I'm gonna skip this and let's go. And this as well is going to be in your packet that I'm going to send you. It's going to be how to track your sleep, how to work out with your Apple Watch. Those are, I'm going to send to you. Now, these are some helpful tips, okay, that you should know. Now, I know some people said, hey, tell me something that I don't know. This video and this gentleman is amazing, and he has so much information and he's fun to listen to. So there's one thing that I know.
Tammy, we teach all this stuff.
Pardon?
We teach all this at the
yes. Mrs. Wittes is going to go over and she'll teach you how to do all this. Okay. Just want you to see this for those that are on the cuffs. Let's just go ahead real quick. And
With your Apple Watch, you can quickly replace.
Let me just go ahead and.
Reply to a message, snap a picture with your iPhone, and a whole lot more. Here are 10 Apple Watch tips you should know. When you need help finding your iPhone, touch and hold the bottom of the display. Then swipe up to open Control Center and look for the Ping iPhone button. A single tap makes your iPhone ping, and if you touch and hold, your iPhone pings and flashes to help you look for it in the dark. Multitasking? Use your Apple Watch to set multiple timers to track what you're doing. Start by opening the Timers app and setting your first timer. Say 40 minutes for this sourdough to bake. Then tap back in the top left of the screen and set another timer. Tap back again to see the timers you have running. Going in the water? If you start a swimming workout, water lock will turn on automatically. For anything else, tap the water lock button in Control Center to avoid accidental taps on the watch face. When you're done, quickly turn the digital crown to turn off water lock, unlock the display, and clear water from the speakers. You can customize your Apple Watch by changing complications, which display added information and actions on your watch face. First, touch and hold the display, then tap Edit. Next, swipe left all the way to the end and tap a complication to change it. Turn the digital crown to browse the options and tap to choose one. Press the digital crown to save your changes and press it again to see your new watch face. You can also customize the home screen to view apps in a list and rearrange or delete apps. Just touch and hold anywhere on the home screen. Then, if you want to see your apps displayed in a list rather than a grid, tap List View. To rearrange or delete apps, tap Edit Apps. Tap the X to delete an app, or drag the app to a new position to rearrange your home screen. Then, press the digital crown when you're done. Take a photo at a distance using your Apple Watch and your iPhone. First, open the Camera Remote app on your watch and position your iPhone. Use your Apple Watch as the viewfinder to frame your shot. Then tap the timer to give everyone a chance to get ready. Or tap the More button in the bottom right for other options, such as taking the photo without the countdown. If you hear a song and want to know what it is, just press and hold the digital crown and ask Siri. What song is this? When you're listening to audio, you can switch from one paired Bluetooth device to another right on your watch. In Now Playing, tap the AirPlay button and select a new device. You can quickly reply to an iMessage with a tapback. Just double tap a message in a conversation and select a tapback. To quickly silence an alert, like an incoming phone call or one of your timers, just rest the palm of your hand on the watch display. Ooh, bread's ready. Now that you know these tips, keep exploring to discover what else you can do with your Apple Watch.
Now that's super simple. Again, that just gives some quick little features. And there's one more before I want to, this one was kind of interesting. The calculator. I don't know if anybody ever has to figure out tips when you go to with a lot of people or figure out how many people. So I'm just going to show this real quickly. And
you can calculate a tip.
Okay.
Right on your wrist with Apple Watch. Here's how. First, enter the bill total in Calculator. Then tap Tip. Rotate the digital crown to select the tip amount. If you are splitting the bill, tap People. Then rotate the digital crown to select the number of people. That's a good tip.
Simple. All right, so now that's enough of this. So let's go ahead and hang on, let me just close this out. And again, you're going to get this. It'll actually, there's a video on how the Apple Watch ejects the water. And then it has every hidden feature on the Apple Watch Series 6. And again, we'll go over the 6 and the 7 after Mrs. Wittes talks. So without further ado, we are going to welcome Toby Wittes, and she's our club member and education director at Glen Eagles Computer Plus. So thank you, Miss Wittes. It's all you right now. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, so being that I only have 5 minutes.
Oh, no, we're fine. We can stay
that
on a little bit longer. Everybody can. Don't worry.
I hope we're going to be able to start having classes soon. And we have a wonderful teacher for the Apple Watch. I love teaching it, but if I have somebody who's really good, I'm glad to hand it over. So those of you who have taken our classes know that they're good, and those that haven't, please come. First of all, I don't know how many people here have the grid view of those little circles when they want to go to settings. I hate it. If you press down on that screen gently, not too hard, you get a choice to switch it to list view, which I think is a lot more reasonable. Tammy, could you get this off the screen? Because I'm talking to myself here.
Oh, no, they can still see you.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And then I was going to talk about what things you can, you don't have to get the cellular service. So there's only a few of you who don't have the phone already, the watch already. And people think that if you get the watch, you have to pay $10 extra for service, but you don't, because you can do just about everything as long as you have your phone. You can do everything as long as you have your phone close by. If you want to make a phone call, you just say, "Hey Siri, call so-and-so who's in your phone book," and she places the call for you. Trying to I don't know what other things I can do fast, but what Tammy had said about the phone, the things that you can do if you don't have the cellular, if you don't have your cell phone with you or Wi-Fi, you can still use the alarm, the timer, the stopwatch. You can track your workouts and your activity goals. You don't have to have anything there for service. It all works. You can display photos, play music or podcasts or audiobooks if you've downloaded them before. You can check your heart rate, your breathing, you can record thoughts. There's an app to record, so you can record things. And you can track your sleep, measure your blood oxygen, take an ECG, all those things without having the service. And the favorite thing that I love is using Apple Pay on my watch to pay at Publix. I don't have to open my pocketbook. I don't have to get out my credit card. I just hold up my wrist and I tap 2 times and it pays my bill. So that's my feeling about needing the $10 a month for your extra service or anything. I don't know what else I can say so fast.
No pressure, Mrs. But no, I don't want you to feel rushed. Take your time.
Okay. All right. Also, if you can send messages from your Apple Watch as well as receive them, and I think that you will need some kind of service for that, but you don't need to take out your phone. You just want to send a message. You say, hey, Siri, send a text message to Tammy. And she says, what do you want to say, Toby? And you tell her what you want to say. And she says, are you ready to send it? You say, yes. And she sends it for you. So can do a lot of things with the
Hey,
watch.
Siri, send a text message.
What else? Oh, to respond. Sometimes you get a text and you need to respond. You have a choice. You can speak your response because there's a microphone or there's something else that indicates you can scribble it. So you can just tap the microphone and answer what you want to say and then send it. Or you can, just like if you want to say yes or no or whatever, then you scribble it, YES, and send it. And again, you don't need your phone for that. And oh, one other thing. We're starting to get ready to get rid of the masks, but I think we're still going to need them when you go into stores and doctor's offices and whatever. And so if you want, you need to unlock your phone. You can't do it with the mask on, but you can program your watch. You go through the phone watch app and you can program it to turn off the lock on your phone so that you don't have to take your mask off and do it. You can also do the same thing if you have a Mac. You can program it to turn your Mac unlocked. And I guess that's about it. When I had my first, this is my third watch. And when I had the first watch, the only thing it did that was really outstanding, but it hooked me, was when I was driving the car and using maps, the Apple Maps, it would say, 2 miles, you have to make a right turn. And all of a sudden I'd feel pulsing on my wrist. And I realized that the watch was telling me to move over because I had to make a right turn. And I love that. I would not use Google Maps. I would not use Waze. I would only use Apple Maps because it works together with the watch. And if you have Apple CarPlay, that's the best. And that's it.
Does anybody
come take our classes when we advertise? We will let you know when we're getting ready to start. We do a lot of things. We're not the computers anymore. We're everything technical.
Yes, Mrs. Malott, do you have a question?
Toby, would you tell us once more, because I agree with you, the list is far preferable to all finding the right icon. Each time I try and do that, I'm getting one of the modes, and I don't want to. I want the list. How do you get that list
so
again?
Press down on it gently. You have to have them on the screen.
Right.
Okay. Press down. Yeah, press down on it gently, and it will come up to say list or grid.
It doesn't. It responds to the icon, whatever my finger is near. I can't get list. Is there any tricks?
Well, I did it before just to make sure, because I don't use those. I hated them. So come see us. You can make an appointment, ask for help, and we will help you. Okay?
Yes,
We'll do that.
Ruth, hang on. Yes, Ruth.
I have a question. What is involved with taking a shower with the watch?
I've never done it, but I know Bobby Chaikin had fallen and she had a big problem, and she was the first person I knew that used it. And she said it was wonderful. She showered, and when she came out, you I guess you have to press there's a water thing comes up, and you turn the digital crown. You keep turning it until all of a sudden, and it's empty.
I can show that.
So if you want to swim with it, you can. When you come out, you have to empty it.
Okay, thank you.
But she said it worked well.
Ruth, if you stick around, I can show you that on how to eject the water out of the watch. if anybody wants to stay around. Anybody else have any questions for Mrs. Wittes?
Toby told, the most wonderful thing Toby told me, most helpful, was to tell Siri to time something for me. When I'm cooking, I frequently have to time things, and I use it all the time. So thank you, Toby.
Absolutely, yes, yes. It's serious. I mean, you know, you forget, but she's there and she'll do whatever you want. Even he, sometimes people like he.
Do you want me to show you your website, Mrs. Wittes?
Okay, good.
Everybody, let me show you the Glen Eagles Computer Plus website. Okay. Let me go ahead and open it if I can. Oh, we have somebody, Mrs. Malott, hang on, let me unmute you. Okay.
I just want Toby to take her watch and show me exactly how she gets her list.
Well, I have the list already.
I can't see your arm. Could you put your arm up higher or camera lower? Okay.
Okay. Oh. That's now, if this is what will come up. It says grid view or list view. So keep trying. Don't press too hard.
Okay. You just put your finger up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, press and hold until it comes up.
Press
and you have to be on that screen.
Press and hold is Siri. Press and hold what? Sorry, Toby.
Press and hold, press until you see it'll come up with this message that says grid view or a list view.
You're pressing the face?
Yeah, when you have the grid with all those
icons. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work.
It does. Come see me and we'll get it fixed.
You're a little far away. I got it once when you first said it, and I couldn't get it again, and it was and it was wonderful.
Just press on list view.
Look at this real quick. I'm going to share this. This is we went over this, but let me go ahead and share this real quick with you, okay? And then this will go over it one more time. And then, okay, so listen to this real quick.
Apps. Just touch and hold anywhere on the home screen. Then, if you want to see your apps displayed in a list rather than a grid, tap List View. To rearrange or delete apps.
Okay, so you just have to make sure when you're touching your Apple Watch, don't hit an icon. Don't hit one of those pictures. Touch in the middle of them, and then that way your view selection will come up. So that could accidentally be happening, is that you have to touch like in the middle, a black area on the face of your watch.
I can't get it either.
No, I can't get it either.
All right, well, good. That's why we're here today.
Well, you're going to be getting an email probably tonight or tomorrow. And it says you can press there to tap or whatever to ask for help. So you can do that and somebody will help you. And then we're going to start classes and then you'll come take our classes.
Toby, are you going to give a class on the watch, Apple Watch?
Absolutely. Always, always.
Who gives the class? It's Judith.
Either I or Paul. If Paul is here, he'll teach it probably. He's wonderful. Paul Zelik-Matty. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He's new. He came last year. He's wonderful.
Okay.
So, but he's not here full time yet. He will be here, I think, in December full time. He's here now. He's going back and he's coming back again. So, and I'm not sure when we're starting. So anyway, but he's excellent. And I'm not bad.
And you're excellent too, Toby. Don't sell yourself short.
Anyway,
so this is their website. You can see on your screen now. Okay. So all the information, and it's Glen Eagles Computers Plus Okay, so you have all of this information, get help, meetings, and they talk about who is on the board. So you'll see some familiar faces.
It's
So
changing. We have a little change.
so anyway, so they get help, make an appointment. So here's all your information that you can put in. So again, I will have this information is on the presentation notes that I'm going to send to you today. So you'll have the email. Okay. Mr. Jacobs, did you have a question?
I have an answer and a question. Apple has suggested that you do not shower with the watch because shampoos and soaps can cause a problem with it.
Really?
Yes, ma'am. It's right in the directions that tells you about using water and all. The shampooing your hair could be a problem if it gets into the watch. The question I have is that when my watch rings, I very rarely can get the call because when I press the green button, it loses the call. Does anyone have that problem?
No. You're talking about on the watch?
Yes. Well, yeah, I have the watch. If I'm wearing the watch,
I
get a
didn't
call,
talk. Yeah.
I
I
get a
didn't
call.
talk about that, but you can answer. I've not had that problem, but
I have a problem
you
answering
don't
it.
have to answer it on the watch. There's 3 green dots on the top. If you press on that, it goes to your phone only.
Yeah, but I don't know. I have a watch because I don't always have the phone with me. I go to the workout center. I just take my watch. I can talk on it. I can do everything I want with it. It's a
And
telephone.
you pay for the data?
It costs me $10 a month, and I have just like it's phone in itself.
Okay,
You
yeah, I
don't
know.
need the watch.
So then sure, it should be definitely like a phone.
But when I go to answer it, I press on the green mark on there, and I lose
Right.
the call. And quite often, I have to call people back. Do I press it too hard? Do I press it lightly? But it's a telephone. If you have the $10 a month fee, it's a telephone in itself. You can leave the phone at home.
Yep, that's the point.
Right.
Which I do. I leave the phone at home quite often.
I don't know, ask your provider.
Well,
Because
I just
don't
thought
have-
because we're having the class, I'd ask it. In the meantime, I'll try to find out why. I'm gonna try to call myself from my wife's phone and see why I can't answer her call.
Does it happen all the time?
Pardon me?
Does it happen all the time?
Just about all the time. The phone rings, I look at the watch, there's a green and a red, I think. I press the green and I lose the
Right.
phone call.
Mr. Jacobs, why don't you bring it on by the club and we'll do a test and we'll see what we can
Check
do.
your settings. There might be something in the settings that makes it
Well,
really
yeah,
short.
I'll bring it by. We can use someone else's watch, someone else's phone or any phone to call me and see why I can't answer it in the watch. But otherwise, it's the best thing I ever did, especially with that falling situation. That at our age, every one of us should have a watch just for that.
That's absolutely.
Yeah.
Tammy?
Yes. Yes, I'm here.
When buying a watch, does it matter what case you have? They have titanium, stainless steel, aluminum. Does the case matter?
It's all up to preference and looks. Apple, the whole Apple, if you go to the apple.com, you look at all the watches, they talk about all the different ones. It's really about whatever what type of face. I might get the titanium. I'm not sure, but if you want, I believe, I think I put that on there, the link to the Apple. So they talk about all the different watches, all the faces and all the customization, and
that would be great.
Yes, I'll send that to you. It's so much information, but it does
And
give
it's
you an
very
idea.
easy to change the watch bands, and you get you change the face and the band and you have a whole new watch.
That's right.
Anybody else? So I'm going to be getting my Apple Watch 7 and
And you're going to come take our classes?
Pardon, I'll take your classes, and yes, and maybe what I'll do is I'll come back and after I use it for about a couple months, I'll just do like a little my little review on the Apple Watch 7. But again, the real important thing is that the Computers Plus is going to be back in business. And I appreciate everybody coming on today. And again, we'll send this to you. And if you have any questions, again, that's where Toby Wittes and her group of members are here to help you out. And I'm going to continue to keep you entertained with other things, trips, lectures, and music, entertainment, you name it. But when it comes to computers and technology, I am so happy that we're going to be back in person and that the Computers Plus people are going to be here for you. So if you have any questions, you can always email us, email Mrs. Wittes, and or I can forward it along to her, whatever you need. And you can always stop on by my desk, and I love to do some troubleshooting too. So
Thank you.
yay. I'm going to stop the recording.